Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Vaughn. What's up, Vaughn?
What's up?
All right, so we were talking about this off-air, audience, so we're going to bring it to your attention. We were talking about Russell T. Davies, which I love Russell T. Davies. I think he's fantastic. He did a great contributions to Doctor Who. And Russell T. Davies is doing the Target books, which he's giving us new material with, like, his old episodes, like Rose, and he's adding stuff. He's also going as far as saying that the stuff he's putting in there is canon. Now, the hard thing about that is that you have someone that, like, I see him as an idol. You know, like, he did a lot for Doctor Who. So at one point in time, I'm like, this is great. Yeah, he's doing stuff. Harry Jones, Prime Minister, or former Prime Minister, didn't die. Oh, that's cool. Oh, my God, whatever, right? But there's two problems. One, he probably could make something canon if it doesn't affect Doctor Who now.
Yeah.
Like, nor will it ever, right? Or whatever. So to say that we never seen the death on screen, Harry Jones maybe did escape, which would have been, I would like to see that she did. But another problem is he is creating future incarnations of the Doctor, which he could say is canon, but it isn't canon because, right? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like I was saying up air, is that's the reason why they need a continuity person, because certain things that people like, this is the big complaint, is that people who's coming from the outside can add stuff in it and get it canon, and that's not how it works. Canon is canon because it's within the time frame or the universe of that show. Right. So the books are not technically considered the universe of the show. What he's doing is adding stuff that a later showrunner, hope and pray that they go on, later showrunner has to deal with now, because you trying to make this thing canon, and this showrunner that comes after Chibnall would not want to do it. And Chibnall probably ain't going to do it because he has his own agenda. Each showrunner have their own agenda.
Right. Which brings us back to the Harriet Jones thing, because supposedly, and again, we don't have anything to confirm this, but supposedly Chibnall was okay with that, with her still being alive, because it's possible she could pop up in his thing. Yeah. That's interesting because, and again, this is the whole thing I'm trying to tell everybody out there. Chibnall is the Doctor Who showrunner.
Yep.
He has to approve if it's canon or not.
Yep.
The Harriet Jones thing, okay, he's okay with it. We heard, we're not sure. It's canon, supposedly. Everything else is not. Now, you may say, oh no, Russell T. Davies says it's canon. That's nice, but we have an issue with, and again, please understand, I love Russell T. Davies. I'm not saying this is what it is, but he did an interview with Radio Times saying how he's never going back to writing for Doctor
Who. Right.
But what people don't realize is he's dancing around the question, because the whole point is he was showrunner of Doctor Who.
Right.
Are you going to come back and be a writer and listen to directions by someone else? No. Because, well, in his case, no, because he would probably be inclined to be a showrunner for his episodes, which he can't be.
He can't be, yeah.
So it's a kind of an ego thing, because Moffat won't do it either. Now, I just don't get it. I don't understand, if you love the show so much and you just want to tell a tale about the Doctor and write it, why do you have to be in charge? Why can't you just do the episode, work with the showrunner, and for the fans, just put it out there and enjoy what you used to be before you became a boss or anything?
Yeah, exactly.
You might enjoy the experience. Because it's not about the ego and the position. It's about, did you have fun doing it? Maybe you might have fun doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So why don't you try it? That's my thing. And maybe that you would realize, oh, like Moffat would realize, oh, I enjoyed working for Russell T. Davies and I put up my best episodes. So if I do that again, people were like, this is friggin' a BAFTA friggin' award, and oh my God, this is great, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you try that once? But I don't think they will. So they put stuff out there, and people are like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. It does not canon.
No.
So you're getting yourself all crazed for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just like back in the day, and it's related.
Yeah.
Star Trek had books too, Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had episodes that contradicted the canon of the books.
Yep.
Like Imzadi by Peter David was one of my favorite books.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always the Deanna Troi and Riker and their relationship and the whole history. That was thrown out the window. And then they did a Imzadi too, and that was thrown out the window. And so after a while, you're like, well, I'm not going to get the Star Trek books because they're not canon. And it's like a waste, you know, because they're never going to be in reality. So with Doctor Who, they do that too. And Big Finish, they do that too, where they'll put something out there that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So my argument is, why watch it then? I mean, it's not real. So unfortunately, and I don't want to be the bringer of bad news, but unless Chris Chibnall says these doctors are canon, future doctors, they're not canon. And even if Chris Chibnall said they were canon, if Chris Chibnall is here 5 years and leaves and we never see those doctors, it's not canon. Unless he puts it in the episode.
Exactly.
Because he could have a showrunner answer Chris Chibnall and says, no, sorry, that's not my vision. Didn't happen. We can't have an open-ended thing like Cloverfield Paradox, where everybody thinks every movie's going to be Cloverfield, where everybody's been thinking every book is going to be canon. It's not canon. And
plus, we can't say it's canon because we don't know what what twisted thing that he has in his head right now, where he's the direction of the show he's leaning it towards. Because if it's educational, well then no, that's not going to work with what y'all trying to do. So sorry. So now, like a little kid would ask Russell T Davies, "Oh, can't Harry Jones be alive because we didn't see her die?" And then he gets inspired. He writes this whole thing. Absolutely, she's alive. That's great. Well, why don't you do a friggin' episode? Yeah. I mean, and then now you're doing books now. Well, why don't you just do an episode, dude? What is the... Whoa! Why is there politics with everything? No, because they don't want their egos to clash. Because he might see something that Chibnall is doing wrong. But here's the thing. If he was really... I mean, I gotta watch how I say this. If you're really above that intellectually... Yeah. Then you would let it go, the ego, and just do it. I would think. I just think now it's just a numbers game with them in Doctor Who. It's not for the passion or the creativity. I mean, it's just to get ratings now. Well, you know what's funny about that though? We were saying how they need to put stuff out because nothing's putting out right now with Doctor Who. There's no episodes released. There's no action figures. No this. And isn't it weird how we're talking about they need to do something to make Doctor Who popular, and all of a sudden, Russell T Davies, the former showrunner, and Moffat, the former showrunner, are putting books on the market when Doctor Who's not on the air? Exactly. Wow, that's surprising. Somebody's either listening or somebody's... I mean, come on now. It's really, coincidence that you talked about, Moffat need to fill them plot holes, and all of a sudden he's writing a damn book that supposedly fill plot holes up. But so we said though, he's suggesting he should do a book. A book, yeah. Now he's doing several. Yes, exactly. And of course, it's going to be the best selling because we're all going to buy them. I'm going to buy it. I'm already looking to see, well, how the hell am I going to have this thing shipped? Because they're not releasing the book in America, so you actually have to pay a lot to get that sucker delivered. See, this is another thing, not to get off topic, but this is another thing I hate about the merchandising of Doctor Who. And yeah, I say hate because it's just, you have spent so many years building up a merchandise in the U.S. Now, all of a sudden, certain things are not for the U.S. at all. Like, I wouldn't care if you produced it in England first and then released it like a couple of weeks or a couple of months later. I would be fine with that. But having zero merchandise? Oh, yeah. Hey, America, you could just have the Kindle copy. Yeah, exactly. I don't like reading the Kindle. I mean, I read it. I have stuff on books on Kindle, but
my preference is an old-fashioned book. I mean, yes, I'll buy a digital download, but stuff like Doctor Who, I want the actual copy. Other books, like if I'm just reading anything, all right, I'll have a digital download. That's fine. But if I want to have my favorites, I want it to be the book.
Like I said, I was at a convention this past weekend, and there was no Doctor Who merchandise to be found. It was just a small little area that, like a table, literally a table with Big Finish, Doctor Who books and stuff like that. I said, well, you know, y'all losing a market for any. If y'all want it to be internationally known, then y'all should, you know, do something for America or other countries, because right now, I mean, our American shows are taking over most of the demographic. I seen Bob's Burgers. I seen Game of Thrones, Star Wars. I mean, y'all losing a market if y'all don't promote. And then most people still don't know what the hell Doctor Who is. Most people think Doctor Who is still the Peter Question one. Legit. Like, they think Doctor Who is the old man who builds some time machine and goes with his little granddaughter, which it is true. Did
Moffat need to make that canon? The old American Doctor Who things? Like, see, this is what I talk about, and I've said this plenty of times, right? I said it. Moffat has stuff in his head, right? And he's like, I got to solve, and I got to be the one to answer this question. I'm going to be the one to fix the regeneration count. I'm going to be the one to fix how he gets regenerations back. I want the world record of this. I want the world record of the longest companion, the longest doctor, the oldest doctor, right? So here it is. He's got stuff in his head, right? And there's just one problem. He's not the showrunner anymore.
Nope.
But you know what? Do you think that stops him? No. Now he's doing books, and he's like, oh, the American movies are really American movies because the doctor told them somewhat of a story to make it, and he gave his blessing, and he even gave the guy his coat, and he was best friends with the guy that played the doctor, or the doctors.
You know, that would be a damn face to anybody who watched that. No way that a doctor would intervene on such stuff like that. And and actually the Peter Question ones was the first one I saw, and I wasn't into the fandom, but I was led to believe that was Doctor Who, because that's what they showed over here. That's what they showed.
But the other explanation is the most ridiculous thing that he actually was thinking about. And he's like, wow, the reason why you're seeing the Doctor Who episodes in black and white is because the first Doctor and the second Doctor are colorblind. What?
Moffat.
Wow! Oh my God. Dude, listen, Doctor Who, as much as I want, Doctor's not real. So why are you trying to make it like it's real? Like that, it's really color, but like the Doctor's, you're seeing his point of view and it's black and white. It's not real. Like, you don't need to, like, explain why it's black and white. This is in his head. Just like he'll do a Christmas episode with Santa and aliens and face-hugging crabs.
So are he trying to say the Doctor is colorblind during this period?
The first and second Doctor are colorblind, and after the regeneration thing gets in sync, then he can see, like, in color.
Sit your ass down somewhere.
Shut your mouth. It's like, what the hell? Dude, you know what it is? Just write Dracula, dude. Just get Gatiss and just do Dracula.
Fucking get Capaldi.
Dude, you're fucking done. Like, are you still in your head? Oh, I wish I would have did this whole season of Doctor Who. And you know what? It's a funny thing. I'm sorry, but we suggested it. I suggested it. Do a book and answer the plot holes, and you listen. And you know what? That's a good thing, because now I want answers.
Yeah.
And now you're going to make money because you know we want answers. So.
But Moffat, you can't not go through history and change stuff that's always
changed.
Dude. You really.
Holy crap, dude.
You can't explain why everything is black and white. It's because the television wasn't at that thing, even though by the time the end of Tron, I think it was going into color.
Why don't you explain, like when they're on looking at the TARDIS in black and white, that these people are from the 60s, and you don't want them to see future technology where it's in color.
Exactly.
Maybe that. So you had the TARDIS dumb down the things for them, so because of that time period.
But he already done mess with the whole thing, because technically Twice Upon a Time can be fitted into the William Hartnell ones, which
Right.
doesn't make sense. Why would you want to change something like that?
She
You
never
just
seen him have regeneration energy in his hands. Then she
no.
saw that. I'm like, what is that?
What
Come
that
on.
doesn't it doesn't go with what's going on. If you was gonna do this right, you should have just stayed with the format of what was going on
And the
around.
companions were in the damn TARDIS when he's
They weren't
regenerating.
even in it. I don't know where they was, but they wasn't there when he fell on the ground. What the, that's the thing that I really kind of disliked about Twice Upon a Time. Even though I do admit that David Bradley did a good job. It's just that you're playing with history that's already been established within the classic series. How are you doing what Big Finish do? Basically, they take a point in time,
Taking liberties.
take a point in time between a gap between how can you take a gap?
You know what it is? It was like he didn't really watch or paid attention to the episodes. He vaguely remembers. He's like, yeah, that's the way it was. No, dude, doctor didn't drink. No, dude, this didn't. No, dude. And he's just making like the doctor sexist. That's not. I mean, there's references about things, but he didn't make the reference. And he just loses all whatever. You know what?
Then you made him assess his old creep.
Right,
basically.
which caused the doctor to become a female in the first place.
Which
subconsciously.
And that turned us to the level of what William Hartnell did, because he was really ignorant at the time. So you turn us that saying that his doctor was sexist, maybe a little bit out of it, yes. But
if you want to say that he's dying and he's acting strange because it's the last time he's on, and that he didn't really drink and it's just like that, then that's different. Then it's like, oh, he's seen now for a Time Lord, and then he's got to regenerate to fix it. If you would explain that, then I'd be like, okay, that's an explanation. But even though Mark Gatiss rolled his eyes, like, yeah, that's all right. We know that that's not the way it is, but okay, it's fine. It's it's like just don't pay attention to that. It's.
I want to tell viewers we're not bashing Moffat, but we just calling him out on his BS, because he had one thing he could have done to make Twice Upon a Time even more special: bring back Susan.
Right.
Why could Susan been the human that the doctor when the first doctor saw in I forgot testimony? Why could that been the human that they tricked him with? Because who else?
And as far as I'm concerned, the video wasn't finished, so we don't know if they really are good anyway, because they stopped the Dalek from showing the video. Yeah. So for all we know, it's possible that they're thinking about being evil. They may be evil. So I don't know if I believe that. But
that would put it up with the best of the shows if they would have had just said that Susan was the one that they pulled out of time and he reunites with his granddaughter, because that was also Capaldi's wish too, to be reunited.
But see, you know what the thing we forget though is, right? As much as we want the Doctor to reunite with his granddaughter, he was reunited with his granddaughter in the Five Doctors, technically.
Yeah, that's true.
Technically, he did go back. Like she's there. So, grandfather, and she was with him again. So technically, we got that, but we chose to ignore it.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah. We did, because she was older.
Yep.
And we did have that, and we just, for some reason, every single Whovian ignores that, because like, well, when is he going to say? So one day I'll come back. He already did. Well, she came to him. So we had that already, but we still want to have it again, regardless. But we can't. And it's like, why can't these people make it happen? What is the ego thing? Why can't you just effing do it? Just like people with Star Wars. Why couldn't you have Han Solo, Leia, and Luke at the same effing fucking time? Then you got to be dicks, and you got to be like, oh, this one's dying, and this one's away, and this one's on an island.
Why, if they want to play God with every last creator, go back to the John Nathan Turner, fix his crap if you want to play God. Give Perry.
You want to solve shit that nobody's thinking about, like the black and white shit? Fix the Perry thing, like you said.
Yeah, fix the Perry thing. Give her an actual ending instead of giving her multiple ones. And even Colin Baker wrote an ending for her.
But better yet, I suggested an episode where there is the trial, but it's not on the Doctor, it's on Rassilon, right?
Yeah.
And everything is revealed, and then they saying, well, how could we miss this? Clara is responsible for the doctor saving everybody, and then they should have a monument of her. Then what they should do after the trial is over is they do something with their technology where he gets to right one wrong in every single incarnation, where they'll fix time where things won't get ruined.
Exactly.
But just one, right? So you know that the 11th Doctor is going to save the Ponds. Mm-hmm. You know that Peter Capaldi is going to save Clara.
Yeah.
You know, 12th Doctor. Yeah. You know that the 10th Doctor is going to save Donna Noble. Yeah. You know? And you go to Colin Baker and he fixes the Perry thing.
Perry thing, yep. Because it's a shame. You know, it's a shame how they did her. And because I like the 6th Doctor a lot. I think that they was very bold and brave to do him like that, because I kind of like how they went with it, even though I didn't approve of the choke out thing, but it kind of get like a real that it's not always safe with him. Like he was suffering regeneration and before the way the 5th Doctor died or past regeneration.
If I could fix that, I would. Where maybe there was something going on that he with regeneration energy and like because that's the only thing that bothers me about his doctor, and he's done so much stuff after, and it's like you know, but of all the doctors, I have that thing with him, and it's nothing to do with him, but I would definitely fix that, because I would definitely show something happened off air, that he drank something and to stabilize the regeneration or something, and then it's like, okay, you know. So maybe he was in massive amount of pain when he choked, like, you know, it was something.
Yeah,
you know?
But they didn't really explain it.
Like maybe his blood cells were exploding.
And
he couldn't see. And maybe they should do something where they show how he felt, or they'll show the timeline show, you know?
Yeah.
But then you have the question, well, if every doctor went back to right or wrong, what would the 5th Doctor do? To Peter Davison? Because here's the thing. Nobody would want him to save Adric.
Yes.
And he couldn't save Adric because technically Adric's DNA created the human race, and everybody's Adric, like I said. Yeah. So what would the 5th Doctor do to change?
I guess take Tegan back the first time. That's the only thing I could see, because Tegan requested many times to go back to her home planet, and he wouldn't do it. So I think...
I don't know if it'll be that, though. It would have to be some... Oh, you know what he would do? He would prevent the death of the Silurians and the Sea Devils. Remember they all died or something?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what he might do. Prevent that. You know? The 4th Doctor, what would he do? Would he say goodbye to Romana, maybe? Or Sarah Jane, like just a, you know? No.
You know what he can do? Don't drop her off in Aberdeen. Take her to where she actually wanted to go. Remember? He dropped him off at that could be, and say goodbye to her there.
And you know what? If Tom Baker was in the 5 Doctors, that would have been a great thing with Sarah Jane. Like
I heard a lot of stories of the reason why he didn't want to do the 5 Doctors.
And I know he regretted it, right?
Yeah, he regretted it. Yeah.
So well, that's another cast entirely.
Yeah.
Which we have material, because guess what, people? The Real Whovians cast is having an anniversary. So we're going to have anniversary cast on the 15th of April. So check that out. Yes, your prayers are going to be answered. You're going to see many, many, many Real Whovians cast on April 15th. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
And then we could also do a cast on how Moffat saved the Time Lords from the Pocket Universe that he explained that Jodie Whittaker was involved. Which...
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's another thing we're going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
But on the next cast, maybe. All right. Take care. Bye for now.